Welcome back. This is Deborah Peters. Happy to have you with my podcast and blog, Neuroscience for Success, especially this new series, The Journey of the Mastery of Your Mind. And so today we have a phenomenal show for you. Richard, tell them about our new show today.
Well, hello guys. It's great to be with you back again. And we were just having a conversation just before we started, where we were just saying, right, let's do something a bit different, something that they wouldn't have heard from us, something that they won't expect. And I just said to Deborah, let's talk about how we get inspired, because
Yes.
I think much of our audience will be very surprised about how both of us get inspired.
And how to stay inspired. I was recently in a meeting that was really heavy, like a lot of heavy energy, a lot of people, jockeying for control, and there wasn't a whole lot of inspiration going around the room. And I walked out of there and I'm like, wow, I am so blessed that that's not my life. And the reason for that is because of the constant inspiration that I cultivate within myself. And I think that's a conversation we want to have today, right? It's about cultivating it for yourself. It doesn't exist out there. It's not something you can go buy. Yeah, somebody can inspire you for a moment, but at the end of the day, you're you, and you're just going to go back to being uninspired if you don't know how to cultivate it for yourself. So that's the conversation I want to have with you, Richard, is what can our viewers do, or what's a tool? Let's give them a tool. How can they inspire themselves?
Well, I mean, for me, it's always about, and I've listened to some of the most world famous inspiring people, talk, and I've listened to some of the most, I would say, ordinary people sort of talk about their lives or share things with me, and I've taken probably equal amounts of inspiration from both of them, because for me, inspiration is about taking action. There's no point in tool, because we all listen to things and go, oh, I could do this, oh, I could do that. But there's no point at all in any of that if you don't take action. And so for me, inspiration directly relates to taking action. And whenever I do get inspiration, which can be from the most ordinary things, even just just walking down the road, and my team in my office, I'm currently sat in my office, and my team in my office get completely infuriated with me when I'll come back having just walked down to the post office or something like that. I'll come back with leaflets and say, "Whoa, look at this! This is and just taking inspiration from something I've seen or something I've heard, and it doesn't have to be huge, great, big giants of people at all. Really simple day-to-day stuff. But for me, inspiration is all about taking some action as a result.
Yeah, that's really powerful, because when you take action, then energy moves. And when energy moves, then you allow in new ways of thinking about your life. But the thing is, a lot of folks, I think, kind of get stuck, and that it's hard for them to take action. It's hard for them to change the action they've been taking and create new action. So my toolbox is asking questions. For me, it's all about asking questions. And I'm always asking myself questions. And my favorite question is, what would it take? What would it take? I'll say this to myself. So what would it take to feel good today? What would it take to have this experience in my life? What would it take to meet new people that are thrivers, that are passionate, that are creative, that are abundant? Like, what would it take for me to receive and allow? So I ask myself those kinds of questions all the time. And whenever I'm feeling stuck, it's because I'm not asking myself questions, frankly. I'm talking to myself, and it's usually negative. And what it's doing is it's bringing down my inner being is disconnecting, or I'm disconnecting from my inner being. That's how I want to say it. Because instead of asking questions that are open, that are higher vibrational, what I've been doing when I catch myself is I've been saying negative things to myself that are limiting. So imagine if you're in that space where you can't seem to move, you can't seem to get yourself going in a new direction. It's because of the way you're talking to yourself. And you're probably talking down energetically instead of asking these questions that are open, that are higher vibrational. So
do you find, sorry Deborah,
yeah.
do you find that every so often you still get dragged down by some negative self-thoughts?
Yes, but you know what's interesting is this is kind of like a compounding experience as you develop yourself in life. And so as I go along my path, I can literally feel, and I had this conversation with myself yesterday after going to this meeting, and I said, you know, I really feel myself coming into deeper alignment, more of an integration between my inner being that always has the highest and best desired outcome for me. It's always about abundance. And this is true for every person. Our inner being is about expansion. It's about abundance. It's about happiness. It's about love. It's just the human side of us that gets programmed over time through, you know, our environment, our parents, our own experiences, that thinks otherwise. And so there's like, you know, back in the day when I was doing personal breakthrough sessions, we called that a parts conflict. Like you've got conflicting parts. It's like things are working, you know, against each other within us. So as I go through this journey of my life, I'm finding that I'm more and more integrated. Therefore, I can be in an experience like I referenced that's like dark and negative and like power over others, like command control, and not have it affect me because I'm more connected and dialed in with my inner being. And as that progresses, because again, remember, this is a journey. This is a journey. This is not like microwave and we're done. As that progresses, then I'm less about the negativity and I'm more about, wait a minute, this isn't the truth. This isn't reality. Reality is, the truth is love. The truth is inner peace. The truth is being inspired every single day from within. From within. So yeah, it's look, it's a process, and you just have to step through the process and just ask yourself better questions. And then, to your point, you'll find yourself attracting people that are inspirational, right?
And it's so true. I mean, because we all experience that negative self-talk at times. That's, you cannot be human and not experience it. What I've noticed over the last 3 years is that actually I've got far more tools for how to deal with it. So, and I can't remember if I've told you this before, but you know, we recently missed out on some funding that would have been really quite nice to do a project that would change, you know, several hundred children's lives. But we missed out on it. However, by the time that I'd read the email, by the time I'd made myself you know, a drink and I'd sat back down again, actually my mind had turned that round into inspiration and had actually turned that round into some positive action that I could do. And that's the difference that I've noticed, is that actually we still experience the negative, you know, the self-criticism that goes on in our brains, because we're human. We have that, and you know, it's an unfortunate part of the way that the world brings us up is that we learn to have that. But what I have noticed is that actually the tools and the way that I respond to that is different. And just like you're saying, you get inspiration from within. You get inspiration from those hard times. Do just, you do just, take stock, and you just find a way out of it. And even like so yesterday, so the day before yesterday, I did a 23-hour day. I was chairing a mental health conference in London, and it was it was a really really full on long day. So by the time I got to home, it was sort of like 23 hours after I got up. I was absolutely exhausted. So yesterday, I just let myself. I didn't. I wasn't negative towards myself. I didn't kick myself, but I let myself just be. Just like a farmer rests his fields every few years. I just let myself be for the morning. By sort of mid-afternoon, I was back on it. I was back on it, and I was absolutely hustling till late into the night last night, because I'd let myself rest, because I hadn't kicked myself for being tired, kicked myself for not doing anything. I'd let myself just refresh myself, and then actually you just come out so much better, so much better. And that's inspiration. It's inspiration from within. You don't have to be going to all these really expensive conferences you don't have to be I mean, it's fantastic to be with inspirational people and all the rest of it, but you don't always need inspiration from that. You can get it from within too.
Absolutely. And so that's another tool actually, is having a nap, meditate in the morning. That always inspires all kinds of inspiration to come through. Sometimes I actually keep a little notepad next to me, because when I'm in the middle of a meditation, it's like all this information is just coming to me, and it's like, oh, there's all the answers that I need. And so I'll be making my little notes. Another amazing tool is just go for a walk. Get out in nature, literally go sit under a tree for 20 minutes and just be grateful there's a tree to sit under. These little things anyone can do, and you don't have to have any money to do it. You can meditate, you can have a nap, you can go outside in nature, you can look at the sky and just appreciate the beauty of the sky. You can appreciate the sunshine that you have. If it's raining, you can appreciate the rain. It's a mindset. So I think, first of all, you have to want to be inspired. Wouldn't you agree? You've got to desire to be inspired, because in that desire, it comes. Because the desire creates a void in the fabric of the universe, in the fabric of your mind. And that void always needs to be filled. The universe and your mind is always wanting to fill those voids. In meditation, we fill that void with the breath. We just focus on our breathing. In life, when we're moving and we're not in a meditative mode, we fill that void with solutions, with ideas. And so the best thing you can do is to ask. Just ask. What could I do today to feel more inspired about my life? And let the answer come, which is what you did. You said you just let yourself be. Wow, Richard, that is so powerful.
Yeah, but it's so important. It's so important. As I'm listening to you, the other thing that I talk about lots with many people is just being inquisitive, being playful and being inquisitive. Because actually, there are lots of different ways of getting your work done, or doing things. And I'll give you an example. I was doing a whole series. So I'm hosting some seminars on mentoring in the workplace, on mental health and support in the workplace, and things like that. So I'm hosting a series of seminars over the next sort of 6 weeks or so. Now, one of my jobs today was to put them onto an event listing site. Now, that in itself, really boring job that I could have very easily, passed to one of my admin support or my members of staff for them to deal with. But actually, I just wanted to have a little play with it and just try a couple of different things. I just got a little bit inquisitive with it, and actually, by the end of it, I discovered a lot more efficient way of doing it, and I'm in a position actually now that train someone in my team to be able to do that in an efficient way in the future, because I just got a little bit playful. I just got a little bit, inquisitive. Like, let's just find out a different way of doing it.
Absolutely. And there it is again, like some fun, So sometimes if I'm at my desk for too many hours in the day and I'm just like pushing through the work and getting a lot of tasking done, a lot of forward movement, I need to have a break. And so maybe going down the elevator and outside isn't always time for that. So I'll just turn on music and I'll take, a 4 or 5 minute break and I'll dance around my office. It works. It's like it revives the blood flow. It's happy. I always pick a happy song, like Pharrell's got that great song, Happy, and there's a whole bunch of them. Just start looking for happy songs. And I play something and I dance around. And while I'm dancing, I declare my intentions out loud. So I'm speaking them while I'm dancing, which is a really powerful tool, because now you're moving your body and you're speaking your intentions, and that integrates. You see, that integrates into your being a belief in your desires, and it asks a question of the universe to fill those beliefs with real experiences. So it's a kinesthetic, it's a visual, it's auditory, it's endorphins, it's happy, and just that movement. And then after, I'm like, wow, that was like reset button. I just kicked up my day. And it cost me nothing. It just was fun.
Absolutely. Do you know the song "Proud" by Heather Small?
I don't. What's it called?
Proud.
No, I don't.
So that is my personal theme. It's a song that I try to listen to every single day, because every single time I listen to it, I take a little bit of inspiration from it.
Yeah. That's awesome. I'm going to look that up. I like that. Yeah, so we've just
so
got
powerful.
We've just got a couple minutes left. So is there something you'd like to leave with our viewers today?
Oh, my one. Gosh. My one is really, don't. How to hang on. My one really is about, you don't need to be one of the sheep following a huge, powerful, significant person to get inspiration. You can get inspiration from the most mundane things, and actually, inspiration really is personal. It's about what's going to help you in your life at this moment in time.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And sometimes inspiration can be born out of negative experiences. So don't rule that out, that, oh, that was negative. What could possibly be inspiring about that? Because sometimes it's when we set ourselves up to have something that we judge as negative happen in our lives, that actually serves as wonderful inspiration, because it's the contrast between the two. And so the contrast is, you've had this negative experience, and the contrast is, what can I use as a launching pad here? Well, it sparks a new desire. So let's say you get caught up in a bad breakup, right? And there's something about that relationship, or maybe there's a lot of things about that relationship or that person that you don't like. So what a wonderful opportunity to spark a new desire and a new inspiration for actually creating a relationship you do like, and being with a person that is more of the qualities that you would like to have. So inspiration, you know what? It's like, it comes from everything. It comes from everywhere. And you're the master of creating your own inspiration. So just know that. Dance around. Yeah, go.
One thing. I just want to share one thing, because you've absolutely. I just want to reiterate what you've just been saying. The whole reason because I'm a behaviour expert. Okay, I've consulted in 5 different continents now. I've been on television, I've been on radio, I've got books out, all the rest of it. The whole reason that I'm a behaviour expert is because as a teacher, I was really bad at behaviour management, and I decided that I was going to go and work in a unit for children with behaviour problems to learn how to deal with it. What I didn't know was after 3 weeks I'd be in charge, and I had to do an awful lot of learning very quickly. But that's all because I took inspiration from something that actually was making me ill, something that was making me feel that I was a failure.
Yes, yeah, I know. It's powerful when you are willing to allow yourself to be guided. You know, your inner being, your higher self, God, the universe, whatever your word is. When you allow yourself to be guided, then you can see that there is inspiration everywhere, you know? So take those naps, have those meditations, go for walks outdoors, turn on the music really loud and jump around your office like a crazy person, and just love yourself, you know? There's nothing more inspiring than self-love.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so with that, ciao, baby.
I was going to say, it's goodbye from me.
Yes. Love you guys. Mwah. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for liking. Thanks for bumping us up to that next level of viewership. We appreciate it very, very much. Have a blessed day. Take care. Ciao. Bye.